Hey guys, welcome back. So we've had an interesting game. Fourth round, Red just has a commanding lead. Uh, Using that crusade, using those combat bonuses to really just take control of this match so far. Um, so it looks like Green decided to upgrade their pyramid from 3 to 4. Blue is now moving their units to the obelisk adjacent to them. It's very interesting they chose that spot, not the spot to the right of them, which gives them equal access to both red and green. Green has decided to use the DI card, which gives them 2 prayer. So any of those upgrades on the bottom level will only cost them 3. Because remember, he has his upgrade from before that decreases the cost. So he didn't necessarily need to play that, but it's useful. Oh, and he got recruit. So what this is going to do is the next night phase, which isn't going to help him immediately. But the next night phase, he can now just put those down. So that's really combos well with recall, for example. You can say, I'm going to recall them, and then next round you can just put 4 down. Like toward the end, like at this combat at the very end. So, good choice on there. I like that. But let's see what Red's doing. Red's doing something here. And it looks like they're recruiting. Which makes sense, right? Again, Red's territory is occupied. They can get a free combat, and he's bringing a bunch of dudes in. This is a prime opportunity for Red, and they were not going to let this go. If they had maybe 0 power, prayer, that would have been one thing. But with 11 power or 10 power they had at the very beginning, this is a no-brainer. That's what they were going to do. So, what are green options? Green's options are pretty much die. Not gonna lie, it's just not looking good for that troop right there. So, Green decides to try to bleed some. Does some damage, but it's not gonna be enough. So, Red gets a permanent victory point from that. Green gets defeated. So, Red played shields here on his combat card, and that's significant. Why is that significant? Well, throughout the match, he's been playing a lot of blood to kill units and gain prayer, right? But in this instance, he didn't, because he was recruiting. Now remember, you only recruit once per round, your entire round, right? And he still has 2 movements he needs to do. So he needs as many troops as he can get in order to get those dudes out there to go and kill people. So it's not advantageous for him to lose dudes. And yeah, he may be able to get the power back, but that power is useless, or prayer. If prayer is useless if you can't summon him right back, right? So that's why he made sure to use shields at a time. Blue prays for 2 to get 4 power, as you do. And now let's see what green is going to do. Green looks like they're getting the Priest of Amon. What that does for them is give them 5 prayer at the night phase. The thing I like about it is that you don't have to do anything to get it. It just comes automatically. And your opponents can't mitigate that anyway. With Crusade, they can play shields, try to block that out, which they want to do anyway. With this, you just get it, and that's all there is to it. So it looks like Red's picking up the Sphinx. That gives them a powerful creature with 2 attack and a victory point. Personally, I think Red's probably going for the victory point to try to seal that win. They're not very far from it. With that, they're now 2 points away. However, that doesn't mean this is Red's game, right? I mean, anyone can basically step in and stop them just by not participating in much combat, recalling after you do, prevent them from getting those easy wins. And it looks like Blue's playing a DI card to bypass the city wall restriction. As you know, you have to start adjacent to a city in order to enter it, unless you have a special effect that prevents it. So basically, they can either go in and maybe attack a dude, which I may do, or they can go into number 3 in the red area, or number 4 in the white area. It looks like they went to the 3-level temple for red. So there's an upgrade there that they really want. So the blades have been taken. So is the Scarab. So what's left? A victory point, which is good, or the Divine Wounds card. Because they're already getting 1 extra DI card a night, I think that's probably the route they're going. But let's see. Red's praying for 2 prayer. I would say that's a fairly safe maneuver right there. Let's see. Looks like they're buying Divine Wounds. So what you can do with that is you basically just discard any DI card and gives you +1 strength in combat. With enough of those bonuses, compound that with the mummy, which he can go in by go into the adjacent spot, he can win almost any combat, given enough time. If this was, if he'd done this early in the match, probably be a better shot than he is now. Red picks up the extra movement. With the Scorpion, that means they can move a total of 2 additional spaces, so 3. That makes almost any spot able to be traveled to just on foot without having to spend that money on teleporting. One thing I always recommend is to make sure your abilities, your upgrades, synergize well together. Teleporting and movement sound like they might, but if you can move a lot of spots, then paying less for a teleport isn't that useful. So we are now at the end of the round. Red has a commanding lead, but can blue and green fight their way back? We'll see in a second.